Hello everyone and welcome back to Auto Futures Trading. In this video I'm going to introduce you to Wave, which is an automated strategy for NinjaTrader designed around the natural rhythm between momentum and volatility. So markets constantly move through cycles of expansion, exhaustion, and transition, but recognizing exactly when one phase may be changing to another can be difficult when price is moving very quickly. So Wave was built to monitor that relationship automatically, making it well suited for anyone who wants to identify potential shifts without relying on one isolated indicator or visually interpreting every movement. So as an example, this is very rough, especially since this is a 1 minute chart. You could say that something like right here, this could almost be expanding a little bit. Oh, that was longer than I thought. And this would be expanding here. And then, if this was, a longer time frame, you just see an expansion, higher highs, lower lows, and then it would squeeze into a direction, and that could either be a fake out, or it could just be moving that like it's going to have very strong momentum through the move. And so you kind of see that cycle of expansion and exhaust, and then it'll transition trend, especially if it was just sliding down or going straight up. So as the session develops, Wave tracks a dynamic volatility envelope around price, while separately measuring the strength and direction of the momentum. Each of these tools provides useful information on its own, but Wave becomes interested only when they begin changing together. So rather than reacting whenever price simply reaches an outer boundary, which can be seen not up there, oh right here. So it wouldn't just react when there's a green bar. There's a big slide, and then there's a green bar, or it's going up a lot, and then there's just a red bar. It waits for price, behavior, and momentum to produce a coordinated shift near an extended area, which could, there's no trade here, but that could potentially be just around here, not around here. It's a little too choppy. The exact calculation and directional response remain part of the strategy's private logic, but the overall approach is designed to recognize when the current movement may be entering a different phase. By requiring both volatility and momentum information to align, Wave creates a more deliberate process than acting on a single touch, a crossover, or a short-term fluctuation. Once the required conditions are present, the strategy prepares a position and automatically calculates its stop and intended targets. Wave gives you two different ways to control these exits, which is the percentage mode and, the percentage mode, which bases the stop and target on a selected percentage of the entry price, creating distances that scale with the value of the instrument, while ATR mode uses current volatility to determine how much room the position should receive. In addition to those exit choices, Wave can operate in both directions, or be restricted to long only or short only directions. Right here, so this is where you see it, the trade direction, which is seen in all the strategies. You can select a fixed position size or allow the strategy to calculate size around a chosen dollar risk amount, with the max contract setting available to keep the result within your limit, which only shows up when you change the fix to dollar risk. The optional scaling can close part of the position after price reaches a selected portion of the target, while an optional trailing feature can help protect progress after the movement develops. So if it's already gone too far, if there's a trade here, it might trail around here and it would scale up here. Wave also includes the daily profit and loss limits, along with controls that pause new entries after a selected number of winning or losing trades, which is again the caps and the win and loss counts. You can choose individual operating days, create custom no entry periods, and enable an optional market bias filter to avoid the positions that oppose the broader directional outlook, which would be the market bias, and then you could see the bias. For more context, Wave includes the optional indicator that can be displayed directly in the chart, which all of our other strategies have as well. So we do see one example. It was somewhere. Oh, it's right here. So we're gonna replay that, and we can see how, at least on the chart trader, how that works. So there's a 9:30 on the 27th. So we'll go to 9:19. And we'll wait for that to load. As I said, we'll see how the entry occurs. You can see kind of how the conditions work, and you'll see how the orders are placed. This is on the 1 minute chart, however. Wave is typically on a 5-minute chart, but for now we can definitely make an exception. That's a little too fast.
Order canceled.
Okay, that was way too fast. We can try that again, and we didn't have chart trader open. That was my bad. But you can still see it moves. It doesn't just sit and wait or react on just the first green bar. In that case, it waits for the follow through. It sees the change in direction, and it's waiting for that momentum. And as you can see, it went straight down, and it did hit the target. So here we can see that again. We're going to slow it down. Maybe a little too slow.
Order canceled.
Immediately hit, and that's how fast it was. This is a 1 minute, so it hit within the same minute. And as you can see, it hit the target, came back up, and it looks like the move will follow through again. But it didn't enter on just the first green bar. It waited for it, and it followed through. So altogether, Wave is designed, let me pause that, to follow the changing relationship between momentum, volatility, and price behavior. It waits for those forces to shift together, responds when its internal conditions align, and manages the position according to your selected settings, while you remain in control of direction, size, exits, scheduling, and risk. Now, no automated strategy can predict every market cycle or remove all the risk, so Wave should always be tested in sim and configured carefully before being used live. And that is why we offer a free trial, so you can download some of our products for free and use them live. You can test them on playback and backtest them whenever, even after the free trial expires, to verify their performance and be comfortable with how our products work. So if you want to learn more about Wave, you can visit our website, more specifically its strategy page, or contact us personally. Thank you very much.